So how did we meet? I think it's best if you start that off, babe.
We met at Ashley Church. I was going to a Pacific church, and I had a friend who told me about a church called Life Center. And as I was going there, I met this beautiful lady. She was beautiful. She was just amazing. There's a friend that I knew who actually introduced us. Who was at church, and there was a conversation that we had after church, and we all went to the Waffle House. After the Waffle House, we started talking, and we found out we had so much in common. She was a PK, I was a PK. She's just amazing, and it was just a wonderful story. So I began to ask more questions, and I said, hey, do you mind if we continue talking and get to know each other a little bit better? And from there, the rest is history.
Yeah, and I noticed him at church a few times. He was like called out by our pastor one time, and I noticed him, just how handsome he was and just how distinguished he was, and but I kind of just stayed focused. Really didn't think anything of it until we were introduced by a mutual friend of ours, and we went to the Waffle House, like he said, after a church service on Friday, and our conversation was great, and we knew that we were being connected for something more eventually. After a few conversations, we just knew that God was bringing us together for something special. So one of our silliest moments together. Let's see. I think we have a few.
Few fun times.
Probably not any of you want to talk about, but we do have to say at least one. Can you think of one?
Trying to think of something here now. Silly moments.
Well, I think it wasn't silly at the time, but the moment that my car broke down, and we were supposed to be getting together, and I had to call him, but in that moment I was freaking out, but when he came to my rescue, he made it a humorous thing, and he had my back. He got my car fixed for me. So.
Yeah, another silly moment probably just happened recently, but we were actually at a laundry place. We were trying to figure out why the laundry wasn't working. We came to find out that the reason why it wasn't working because we had to actually pull down the hood before the water started coming through.
Right.
So that was pretty silly.
Right.
We had some good laughs.
The machine took my money, but it really didn't take my money. I just had to let down the top for the water to flow and so it can begin to wash my clothes. So yeah,
so that was a pretty silly moment. We had a good laugh out of that.
Yeah.
Bonds us too. I think what bonds us together is that our vision that we have, and then our relationship with God. I believe those two things are what's really key that brings us together, and that have us on the right path to, even as far as a vision as for business and life, and changing the world. That's what I think what really brings us together.
Yeah, everything he said. Definitely, what bonds us is God, our vision. I think for me, just letting him be who God created him to be is definitely something that bonds us, because I'm not in this relationship. I'm not trying to make Leroy fit some fairy tale in my mind of what a man should be or what a husband should be. I'm letting God just show me who he is, and that's what brings me closer to him, because I'm enjoying him, I'm loving him, and it's a great thing. So.
And she is my fairy tale and everything I ever wanted. So that also brings us together. She's a beautiful woman, so hey, you can't leave out the natural and the physical.
Yeah, what we're looking forward to most as far as like married life and becoming one is definitely, we're already best friends, so just being able to live together, breathe together, and walk through life, in the most intimate way as we can, as far as being best friends, and we just have so much to do, and we can't do it apart from each other. So I'm really excited for the different goals that we have and our destiny, that we'll be able to walk that out together. So. And
I'm looking forward just to us bringing out each other's full potential. Because there is definitely greatness, in Angelique, and in myself, and she brings out the best in me. So I know going forward that at the end of the road, when we're 98 or 100 years old, that I'll be the best person that I could possibly be, because she is there for me. She encourages me, and she brings out the best in me. My grandmother, she passed a couple months ago, and I told her the story. She really encouraged me. She was there. She was calling me, making sure that I was okay. She was looking out for me. When I left my apartment, she said, anything, she went there and she made sure things were taken care of. Anything that I needed, she just showed that support and showed that she was there during that hard time of my grandmother's passing.
Leroy is, whenever I'm having a hard day at work, he's always there for me. So I work a very stressful job, and I recently got a promotion too. So whenever I'm dealing with those difficulties, dealing with the various different personalities at work, I can come to him, and he always puts me back in that state of mind, just understanding that there's a bigger picture. God has you there for a reason, a purpose, so you just stay focused. And he's always there to strengthen me, to encourage me, to just give me that confidence, to help me to just keep going. So I love that. I love that about him.
When I first met Angelique, my first impression was that she was, the first thing I saw, that she was
I was what, babe?
She was, of course, naturally, she was a beautiful woman. When I seen that, I took interest, and I started seeing who she really is. And then that would really grab my attention, just the way that she cares for people and that way she imparts into people. Once I seen that, then I was like a fish on a hook. She was just wonderful, and I just looking forward to all the things that we're gonna have together.
Yes, my first impression of this man was he was a very grounded man, and I know it's like, how do you know that he's grounded just by looking at him? Well, he just carries himself in such a way that when I saw him the few times at church before we were actually introduced, was that he was extremely grounded, extremely intelligent. Like, I noticed that the grace of God on him, just the favor of God on him, and that drawed me. I was never the one to move first or to introduce myself first. I did have to wait, but it was definitely a drawing, and just how he carried himself, and then when I met him, it was exactly, well, above and beyond what I had hoped for and expected. So